There comes a moment in every soul's journey when the noise outside becomes unbearable, when opinions start echoing louder than your own thoughts, and you find yourself lost in the chaos of expectations. The world has a strange way of convincing you that you must become someone else to be worthy of love, recognition, or belonging. But what if I told you that everything you're searching for, the peace, the alignment, the success, it all begins the moment you return to yourself. The moment you shift your focus from proving your worth to simply being it. The moment you stop chasing people and start chasing your purpose. That's when life begins to align in ways you could never imagine. Sometimes you have to step away from the crowd to find your center again. You have to disconnect to reconnect. Because when you keep running from yourself, you lose sight of what truly matters. It's not the validation of others that makes you powerful, it's your ability to stay grounded in your truth when the world tries to shake you. Alignment is not something that happens overnight. It's the beautiful unfolding of what happens when you focus on healing, on growing, on loving yourself enough to stop settling for less than you deserve. Silence the noise and listen to your inner voice. There is strength in silence, the kind that doesn't come from speaking louder, but from listening deeper. When the noise of the world fades, the truth of your heart becomes clear. Most people are afraid of silence because it forces them to meet themselves. But that's exactly where your alignment begins. When you finally sit in the quiet and listen, your soul starts guiding you toward everything you were meant to be. Your inner voice has always known the way. It's just been drowned out by the noise of fear, judgment, and comparison. The world wants you to rush, to compete, to constantly prove yourself, but your inner voice wants peace, purpose, and presence. It whispers softly, reminding you that you are enough, that you don't need to become someone else to be worthy. That whisper is your compass, follow it, and you'll never lose your path. There will always be people who doubt you, misunderstand you, or criticize you, but their noise is not your responsibility. The more you focus on their opinions, the less connected you become to your truth. Silence is not weakness, it's clarity. And in that stillness, you discover that peace is not found in having no noise around you, but in learning to stay calm despite it. When you listen to your inner voice, you learn to make decisions that align with your spirit, not your fears. You stop rushing to please others and start choosing what nourishes your soul. You realize that not every battle deserves your energy, and not every noise deserves your response. That awareness brings a sense of control not over the world, but over yourself. It takes courage to choose stillness in a world that glorifies chaos. It takes faith to trust your intuition when logic and people around you say otherwise. But every time you do, you build a bridge between your heart and your destiny. You become unstoppable because you finally know who you are, and no noise can shake that foundation. When you stop listening to the crowd and start listening to your conscience, everything around you starts to align naturally. You make peace with your journey, you trust your timing, and you fall in love with your process. And in that quiet, you finally hear the most powerful sound, your soul remembering who it is meant to be. So let the world be loud if it wants to be. You stay calm, grounded, and connected to your truth. Because when your heart is at peace, the universe moves in silence to align everything for you. Heal what you've been avoiding healing. It's not about pretending you're fine. It's about facing the truth of your pain and giving it the compassion it always needed. We spend so much time running from our wounds because we fear the discomfort of sitting with them. But what you avoid doesn't disappear, it grows stronger. Healing begins when you stop escaping and start embracing every scar, every crack, every ache that shaped you. Sometimes healing means revisiting the chapters you closed too quickly. The ones you sealed not because they ended, but because they hurt too much to read again. But true alignment can't coexist with suppressed pain. You have to open those pages, not to live in them, but to understand them. Because pain unacknowledged turns into patterns that repeat until you choose to heal them. Healing doesn't make you weak, it makes you whole. It takes more courage to feel than to numb, more strength to forgive than to hold on, and more grace to let go than to stay bitter. When you heal, You don't change your past, you change your relationship with it. You stop asking, why did this happen to me, and start saying, it happened for me. The moment you start healing, everything begins to align differently. You attract peace instead of problems, compassion instead of chaos. Your energy changes, your focus shifts, and suddenly you start breathing easier. The same wounds that once drained you begin to teach you patience, resilience, and self-love. Healing also means accepting that not everyone who hurt you will apologize. Not every question will be answered. Not every story will end with closure. But you can still choose peace. You can still choose to move forward with love in your heart, not for them, but for yourself. You start realizing that healing is not a one-time event. It's a daily decision. Some days it feels easy. Some days it feels impossible. But every day you try, you grow. And growth is alignment. Growth is grace. Growth is the silent evidence that your soul is finding its way back home. And as you heal, you'll notice the universe rewarding you in subtle ways. The right people will enter your life. The right opportunities will unfold. And suddenly, everything begins to align, not because life got easier, but because you did the work within. Protect your energy like it's sacred. Your energy is your most precious currency. Every thought, every word, every person you engage with either adds to it or drains it. Yet most people spend their energy on things that don't matter. On trying to please others, on explaining themselves, on keeping toxic connections alive. But the truth is, you can't align your life if you keep entertaining what disturbs your peace. Protecting your energy means setting boundaries without guilt. It means learning that no is not selfish. It's sacred. When you say no to chaos, you're saying yes to calm. When you stop overextending yourself for people who wouldn't do the same, you reclaim your power. You learn that walking away from what drains you is not weakness, it's wisdom. There's beauty in being selective about where your energy goes. When you stop investing in what depletes you, you create room for what inspires you. You realize that not everyone deserves access to you. And that's okay. Your peace is not a public space. It's a sacred sanctuary. Protect it fiercely, because everything meaningful grows from there. It's okay to outgrow people. It's okay to outgrow places. Growth demands space. And sometimes that means leaving behind what no longer aligns with who you're becoming. You owe it to yourself to choose environments that celebrate your light, not those that dim it. When you start guarding your energy, you'll notice your world changing. The noise quiets, the confusion clears. You start waking up with gratitude instead of exhaustion. That's not luck, that's alignment. It's the result of honoring your peace above all else. Protecting your energy also means protecting your thoughts. What you think, you attract. What you speak, you manifest. Fill your mind with faith, your heart with kindness, and your days with gratitude. That frequency invites miracles that chaos can never bring. And as your energy becomes cleaner, so does your path. You stop forcing outcomes and start flowing with life. You realize that everything that once felt heavy no longer belongs to you. And in that freedom, alignment becomes effortless. Become who you needed when you were lost. We all have a younger version of ourselves still living inside, the one who felt unloved, unseen, or unworthy. That child within you doesn't need fixing, it needs understanding. Becoming who you needed when you were lost means giving yourself the compassion, patience, and care you once craved from others. It's not about revenge. It's about redemption through self-love. When you start focusing on your own growth, you stop waiting for someone to save you. You realize that you are both the hero and the healer of your story. Every pain you endured, every lesson you learned, becomes a stepping stone towards strength. The person you are becoming is the proof that the person you were deserved more. You learn to hold space for yourself during your low days. You stop punishing yourself for your mistakes and start appreciating how far you've come. You remind yourself that progress is not always visible, but it's always happening. You start becoming the gentle voice that says, "You're doing your best, and that's enough." Becoming who you needed also means breaking the cycles that once hurt you. You learn to choose kindness where you once chose anger. You learn to forgive instead of retaliate. You learn that real strength lies in grace, not aggression. And in that grace, life begins to align beautifully. Every time you rise after falling, every time you speak life over your scars, you become an example of transformation. You become a light for others still walking in darkness. You start healing generations of pain simply by healing yourself. That's how powerful your growth truly is. You start realizing that you were never broken, you were becoming. Every experience shaped you. Every heartbreak refined you. Every setback strengthened you. And now, you are everything you once prayed to be. You are proof that pain births purpose. And as you continue to grow, life mirrors that growth. Doors open, hearts heal, dreams unfold. Because when you become who you needed, the universe aligns everything to match your evolved energy. Trust the timing of your journey. We live in a world obsessed with speed. Everyone wants success today, healing tomorrow, and happiness instantly. But alignment doesn't rush. It flows. It takes its time, because beautiful things take time to build. Trusting the timing of your life means surrendering to what is, even when you don't understand why. There's a divine order in everything that happens. Every delay protects you, every rejection redirects you, and every pause prepares you. When things don't go as planned, it's not because you failed, it's because something greater is being designed for you. What's meant for you will never require you to beg or chase. It will flow naturally. Patience isn't passive, it's powerful. It's the calm acceptance that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The universe doesn't operate on your schedule. It operates on alignment. When you stop forcing outcomes and start trusting the process, peace takes over the place of panic. There will be seasons where you feel stuck, where progress seems invisible. But trust me, those are the seasons of silent growth. Just because you can't see the roots growing doesn't mean the tree isn't preparing to bloom. Your faith during those hidden seasons determines your alignment during your visible ones. Trusting timing also means trusting yourself. Trust that you're not behind, trust that your pace is perfect, and trust that your path is unique. Life isn't a race, it's a rhythm. And once you start dancing to your own, everything else starts moving in harmony. When you release control, the universe surprises you in ways you never expected. People, opportunities, blessings, they appear effortlessly. Because trust is the highest form of alignment. It tells the universe, I'm ready for whatever's meant for me. And that's when magic happens. That's when everything aligns, not because you forced it, but because you finally allowed it to flow. In the end, life isn't about controlling how everything unfolds. It's about learning to trust the beauty of alignment. When you stop trying to fix the world and start fixing what's within you, the universe begins to move differently around you. You no longer chase people, you attract peace. You no longer beg for love, you become love. And you no longer run after opportunities, because they begin to find their way to your calm energy. Alignment is not an external miracle, it's an internal awakening. It happens when you choose yourself unapologetically, when you honor your truth without fear, and when you decide that your peace is no longer negotiable. So focus on you, not selfishly, but soulfully. Because the moment you nurture your growth, protect your energy, and walk in faith, everything that belongs to you starts moving toward you with divine precision. The right people, the right doors, the right purpose, they all align naturally with your vibration. The chaos fades, the confusion clears, and life becomes beautifully simple. Not because it's perfect, but because you are aligned. And when you are aligned, nothing in this world can ever pull you out of the peace you built within.